It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS with Fletcher.
3 down, 2 to go.
That's right, baby. And Ryder.
You're going to look pretty funny trying to eat corn on a cob with no f***ing teeth.
Everybody got their teeth this morning?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We are good to go. Don't you worry about that. It is a wonderful Thursday morning. It is the 1st of May somehow. And, boy, I got to say, I'm just going to look backwards. We just heard Finest Work Song, the lead track from Document, R.E.M's 5th album. That was the tour where I went, oh, man, I'm going to lose my favorite band. Now everybody's going to like them. This sucks. Because that was the kind of douchebag fan I was. They're better than your favorite band, but don't you dare like them. I won't know who I am if everybody likes my band.
But that's how everybody was.
It's great.
It's okay.
The salad days. But back to May 1st, 2025. I'm feeling Minnesota today. And Paul Fletcher, I'd like to know what is happening in the world.
Okay, well, it starts off with a banger. Tick season is here. Yeah.
Oh.
A rainy 2024 means more adult ticks in Minnesota this year. Can we get a collective yay? We're so excited.
Come on.
Local officials say stay on top of Lyme disease. Ticks can also spread a virus called Powassan. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, and body aches. Use bug spray and check for ticks after spending time in wooded areas. Ticks.
Well, I mean, listen, but it's not all bad. I mean, ticks are a valuable food source for all those other animals that you want to stay away from, too. I'm trying to find a silver lining. I hate ticks.
I've never had a tick, and it freaks me out that they exist.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My two daughters are deathly afraid of them. We used to camp quite a bit, and they've gotten freaked out because I think they had a tick one time, and now we don't camp as much.
More ticks than I could count on both hands as a kid in Maryland. It was tick country, baby.
Oh, boy.
When Rocky Mountain spotted fever hit the scene in the mid-'70s, a kid in my school lost 7 fingers.
Oh, no.
I'm not making this up. She went to a movie.
Well, there's that silver lining you were looking for.
Walked out of a movie theater and was covered in ticks. They closed the movie theater down. It was a big controversy, and she lost 7 fingers in the complications from Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And that's not from listening to too many John Denver records. So don't even think that you're going to make that joke. Sorry.
Here's the thing you can do is just stay out of the woods.
But she was at a movie theater.
She was at a movie theater.
Not just say that?
Yeah.
Right, but generally speaking here in Minnesota, if you stay in the metropolitan area and stay away from large, just don't get active. Just stay at home.
Stay at home. There you go.
Yeah, you know what? You can use this. Use your foldable iPhone. Apple is gearing up to launch its first foldable iPhone. The iPhone Fold will feature a 7.8-inch display on the inside, a 5.5-inch display on the outside. The screen will supposedly also be crease-free and measure only 4.5 millimeters unfolded, which should be the thinnest Apple device yet, which is all we care about. Just give me the thinnest and the lightest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if everything goes to plan, though, we get it in the second half of 2026, so we're still looking like a year out. But there you go.
I got a notification that my phone I'm ready for an upgrade the other day, and and for the first time I went, or not for the first time, but the first one in a while, I was like, yeah, no. In fact, if I could go back a few models and a few upgrades, and a few updates, I'd do it. Every time I update my phone, I get more and more confused. I'm old. Let's move on.
You know what, though? No, it's not. It's because every time you update your phone, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
The keyboard used to be so intuitive. I would take my 13 back in a heartbeat. I've got a 15 now, and I'm
still pissed about iTunes. I loved it in 2006. It made sense to me. It's been confusing ever since.
Apple Music doesn't make sense to you?
No.
Okay, fair enough. A new action figure. Hey, especially just in case Dave Perner's listening, a new action figure of Blondie singer Debbie Harry has been released. Do you think it'd make it into his small collection?
Sure.
Is it a Super 7 action figure?
It is. Super 7's reaction figure features her dressed in a Vulture's shirt from a photograph taken in 1976 by her then boyfriend and Blondie guitarist Chris Stein.
Yeah,
nice.
Perner's getting one of those as soon as they show up at Down in the Valley. They are his dealer for those things.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Very good.
It's funny. I largely brought that up for one person.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But he's Dave, so it's, he deserves it.
And you're going to need to get this podcast to him maybe about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. if he's going to hear this.
Director Kevin Smith was in town last week. We touched on this yesterday. He recently regained the rights to his movie Dogma.
Okay.
During a Q&A, he did a special screening here in a Q&A. He revealed he does want to bring a 30th anniversary of his classic Mallrats back to Eden Prairie Center, where the film was filmed and released in October of 1995. I think that'd be really, really cool. That'd be like, there's no better way to do the 30th anniversary of that movie than at the mall that it was filmed at. That would be genius.
That would be great.
And I'd be there.
Fair enough.
We gotta make that happen.
We got to redo everything inside Eden Prairie Center so it looks like it did in the movie.
I don't know if we can get him to do that.
Stores and can we get Stanley? Can we resurrect him?
Let me tell you, I went to the mall where they shot Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it didn't look anything like it, and it's a crushing disappointment. So yeah, you got to think about these things.
Oh yeah,
yeah, real bummer.
Okay, let's not do it. Forget I said anything.
I'm still going.
Okay, well, of course, we'll get through it. Can we talk sports?
Yes.
Yes. How about the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Did they win?
If you, like me, said yesterday it's all going to be about Rudy Gobert. Did I say that yesterday? No one said that. No one on earth thought it was all going to be about Rudy Gobert. But that's what happened. And last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves eliminated the Los Angeles Lakers.
Bye-bye.
Gobert with the game of a lifetime. Just take a listen to this.
24 for Rudy Gobert. On the wing, DiVincenzo sets, aims, fires, no. Oh! Gobert parachutes in, uncovered, untouched.
Parachutes in.
Jackhammers it in.
And jackhammers it in 27 points and 24 rebounds. That's like I would do that when I was coaching my son's 4th grade team. I'd sit in and play and practice, and I'd get 27 and 24
You played against Connell's team
in practice, just to show the big kid how to move in the paint. I'm just saying it was hilarious. I stayed up late. I'm watching the game, and I'm just like the Gobert game. No one saw it coming. Game 1, the Wolves shot 50% from 3-point, and we all said, well, they won't do that again. Last night, they shot 15%, 7 for 47, and they won the game.
Wow.
Good God almighty, Lakers. That was some smoke and mirrors, clearly. This was fantastic. How fantastic was it? Shaquille O'Neal trying to give Gobert props, and of course, you can probably figure out how it sounded.
And I never thought I would say these words that are about to come out of my mouth. But Rudy Gobert is dominating.
To picture that, he's throwing up in his mouth while he's saying it, right?
Sacre bleu! Allons au fond de la patria! The Frenchman comes through when they needed him the most. By the way, they'll be in the Western Conference Championships. I'm calling it now because Houston is about to be eliminated by the aging Golden State Warriors, and Golden State's got Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and they're terrifying, but they're thin, and they don't have the ability to keep up in a 7-game series with this Timberwolves team. They're going to the finals of the Western Conference. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, that's a dangerous game.
It is. I'm in, baby.
You're toying.
Did I mention the Wild? Did I mention the Wild are going to win tonight as well? You're damn straight they are. Game 6 tonight at the X this evening, 6:30 p.m. In about a little over 12 hours, they're dropping the puck and they're going to advance, and that is going to be very, very, very exciting.
Crazy that it's going to be light out when they drop the puck on a Wild Vegas game.
It really is. It's exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. Big Lake. Oh, we got a big day in Big Lake. Every day's a big day in Big Lake. What are you kidding me?
So fired up right now.
Great. I'm so happy the Wolves got rid of the Lakers.
I still can't believe. I'm still fixated on the fact that he parachuted in and jackhammered in the same play.
The Frenchman has got. He's got. He holds those cards close to his chest. He's got a bag of tricks. What other silly cliches can I say?
I mean, watching it did look like he literally as soon as they said, I'm like, that is parachuting in. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I love it.
Happy to have you with us, Big Lake. Hey, check this out. KQ's Bestest is coming back. We're going to talk about the bestest things in the entire metro. We want to hear from you. Get your nominations in this week at 92KQRS.com. The voting is starting Monday. It's sponsored by JTL Roofing. Right now, 651-989-ROCK. If you want to share your categories and your votes, let's talk burgers. How about this?
Yeah.
Best burger in the Twin Cities extended area. If you go to 92KQRS.com. You can get involved in the Minnesota's bestest.
I love this.
We're soliciting not only categories, but obviously opinions on the bestest things you can find in Minnesota.
And now is the time to do it because I hear a lot of whining after the list comes out about why didn't you put this in there? Where's that? So speak up now, or else you're stuck with what other
Forever
people
hold
have
your
said.
peace.
Yeah.
You can nominate.
Hold your burger.
You can submit categories and then place votes. So get involved. Go to the website. It's a lot of fun. Let's just start right here. A very easy and yet divisive one, I should say. Best burger. And by the way, and now in my third year in the Twin Cities, what a burger town.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I didn't know about this place before I got here, and that's one of them. I've had just a litany of spectacular burgers since I got to this area.
I've been saying this for years, that
Holy
we are
crap.
quietly one of the best burger towns in all of the country, if there is such a thing.
Ryder, you're a native. Best burger, go. What is it?
I'm really into the Bull's Horn in South Minneapolis, and they have killer fries too.
Okay.
But if you ever head over to Minnehaha Falls, it's like
Yeah.
real close, and it's a cool dive bar.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Bullhorn.
Bull's Horn.
Bull's Horn.
Yes.
Got it. I
Big
will.
raffle on Wednesday, bud.
All right, thank you for that. What do you got? You're a local guy. You've been here your whole life. Come on.
It's so hard. Can I just rattle 3 off really fast?
Oh,
Good, I'm
that's
going
so-
to. Red Cow 60/40 burger. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but they're so damn good.
Okay.
Wells Roadside used to be the Galaxy Drive-In that I went to as a little kid in St. Louis Park. Now it's Wells Roadside, and they do amazing smash burgers. But I think the best in town is the Parlor Burger. That thing is just, it's meat, cheese, and pickles. That's it.
Damn
and they're
it.
unbelievable.
That's what I was going to say.
Parlor?
I just had
So damn good,
and didn't
dude.
go in there knowing about it. You know, the best things in life are when you just discover it. And Rosemary and I were just in that part of town over on Washington, and we were like, that looks like a cool place. Walked in, sat at the bar, and we were like, we were getting ready to go. We were going to Acme, and it was like late afternoon, early evening before going to Acme. And then we're like, let's just split a burger. Neither one of us was too hungry, and so we got the burger to split it, and then we had another one and split that one too.
Yeah.
I was
Really?
like, oh my
You
god,
doubled down?
I'm eating another. I have to have my entire whole Parlor burger, so we had to order 2 of them.
Well, and I wish I would have known that. I would have left that out and let you have the thunder
That's
on
quite
that
all
one,
right. No.
But when you walk in and you see the menu and you see just the burgers, $18, you go, come on. And then you eat it and you go, okay, that was worth $18. Here's another $18 for another one.
It was fantastic.
They're
Best
unbelievable.
burger in town, 651-989-ROCK. Let's just keep it simple. Let's fight about burgers today, why don't we? Hey, real quick. You ever been out with your kids and then they do something, they break something in public, or they spill a drink on someone's overcoat and you got to go like, I'll take care of that. I'll take it to the dry cleaner. Here's my number. You got to make up for your kid's mistake. Did your kid ever do like this kid just did and damage a painting at a museum that's worth, hang on, let me look, $50 million? Holy crap. Let's discuss
At least 3 times.
the $50 million kid mistake. In Rotterdam, a Mark Rothko painting called Gray, Orange on Maroon number 8, which is some gray and some orange painted on top of some maroon, go figure, was hanging in a museum. It's valued between $50 and $60 million. And it's just out there. You can walk right up to it, and apparently so can your kids. A young lad scratched it up. A little bit of damage on there. The museum spokesman said a child in an unsupervised moment touched the lower part of the work. There was no intent. This was not vandalism. However, a single swipe can mean months of restoration, tens of thousands of costs. They are estimating the repairs anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000.
I love how the museum spokesperson was both very understanding and condescending all at the same time.
They're good like that. The museum has not disclosed who will be covering those expenses. I have a feeling it's a dude with a 5-year-old kid who's going to be covering those expenses. That is rough, man.
I maybe don't bring my child into a situation like that. I don't know. Maybe also don't have art that's worth that much money. I mean, good God.
That's a good point. Looking at this painting, it's a maroon canvas and then like a big, just looks like they did a roller, like a black splotch, and then a smaller one with orange on the bottom.
It's art, man.
How do you know that these scratches did not improve this painting and make it more interesting?
It's worth more.
All of the Mark Rothkos. I saw one in person at a place once in New York City, and I think it was just called Blue, and it was just blue.
Just a blue canvas?
It was just blue paint on a thing. And I looked at it for a while, and I kept coming back to it, and I was like, man, I kind of get this now. And then I left and went, no, I didn't. I was just a sucker for the moment. I thought it made sense. And I'm sure somebody could sit in here and explain to us why this is so incredible. And all of Rothko's work, blah, 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 whatever. It's just a bunch of paint on a canvas.
If we could get somebody to do that, I would actually be interested in hearing why this is something special and not just blobs.
Okay, we are not going to get somebody to do that.
When my wife wakes up, she'll call in and do it. She would. If she knew I was saying this, she'd be like, "Oh my God, how many times do I have to explain this to you?" But that's her world, not mine. She's really into the visual arts. I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. $50 million. I mean, seriously, my daughter Marley Gorman. She's never damaged anything in public, but she did leave a faucet on in a sink in a bathroom in our house once with the stopper.
Oh,
still,
boy.
the sink. She didn't have the what am I trying to say?
The stopper.
Thank you. The drain was plugged, and she didn't turn it off all the way, and so it was just like a trickle of water. And we left for 12 hours, and that trickle of water, once the sink filled up, and then it dripped over, it went down into the floor, and then it went through, and then there was a air conditioning vent on the floor where the water went in there, and so it went all the way into a duct, and it broke loose, and all the water went into the basement. I mean, it was a whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, and she was 5 at the time, and she's now 23 next month, and I still remind her of this on occasion. And it cost, I don't know, we had to get the guys to come in there with the big fans and the dehumidifiers because it flooded a whole bathroom and it messed up the duct and the vents, and maybe $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever it was. I still talk about it 18 years later. $50 million? Are you kidding me? I'd be looking at that kid like, whoa, I know
maybe move to another country.
I know we're related. I know biologically you're my son, but sorry, you gotta go work this one off somewhere.
Yeah, you need to go maybe dust off all the other. No, don't touch the paintings. Never mind.
That's a pretty tough one. Did you ever do something as a kid? Either one of you guys? Did you ever? Was there ever that moment when you were like, "Oops, that's a big deal"?
I don't remember one.
651-989 Rock. Sorry. I would love to hear from you if you did, or if your kid did. We're looking for you got to be kidding me moments from the kids out. When you leave them untethered, if you will, all sorts of things can go wrong. 651-989 Rock. You or your kids ever do anything awful? We had a call. Rick in Apple Valley said he took a black marker, wrote his name on every trailer in the trailer park when he was 4.
Oh, right.
A lot of marker situations in the Gorman household.
Yeah?
Yeah, both kids at different times would be, they'd find that Sharpie and just go right to a wall with it, and like, okay, I guess we're just going to leave that there for a while because it is, my reaction would always be like, oh, no, I don't care. Whatever. It's fine.
That's, when we got to that point, life was much happier. Because our oldest never did any of that, but the young one, Evan, she wrote on everything. Yeah. And at one point, my wife actually took the blue painter's tape and she made a frame around some of the markers she drove on the wall. It's like, all right, here's artwork.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I was
wasn't $50 million.
No,
but.
I don't think in my family, no one ever broke anything. And there was never any of these because we were so regimented. My dad, being a former Marine, with 8 kids, 6 of them boys. I mean, we were like in formation. Like we would have never, we were so well behaved out of just pure fear at all times. There was just never a chance. If we were at a restaurant, if we were somewhere, we were just like afraid to move. We would have just been killed.
Oh yeah.
But I have one memory. There was when I was probably 5 or 6, there was a community pool that was brand new in the neighborhood. It was going to open that summer. It's like May, might have even been early June, and they were filling the pool with water for the first time. Okay. And so a bunch of families, we all walk up to the neighbor. We're like, let's go watch them fill the pool. Well,
sure.
That's cool for about 60 seconds because you're just watching one fountain of water in the deep end, and the whole rest of the pool has no water in it. And it takes days to fill a swimming pool.
Right.
But we're all standing there, and I'm over by the shallow end, and there is a Dixie cup. There's one Dixie cup on the edge of the pool with dirt in it. It was like the final sweep to get all the dirt out of the pool, and it was a small one, probably 8-ounce cup, but it was filled with like dirt, sandy dirt.
Oh no!
And it had been from the final time somebody went in there with a broom, and it was right on the edge of the pool. And I looked down at it, and I just had this thing. It was like,
I got to kick it in.
I got to kick it in, and I know I shouldn't. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
And then you kicked it in.
And then I kicked it in. Bang. And it went right in there. And my mom and dad looked at me, and I was like, I've I've crossed the Rubicon. There's no coming back from this.
You're in trouble now.
Oh, I was in trouble now. And my mom jumped in right away. She runs down the steps in the pool. She picks up the cup, tries to get the dirt out, and then we have to leave. Like we're out of shame. The walk of shame back home. We have to go, kids. Your brother kicked dirt into the pool.
It was the longest walk home ever, wasn't it?
It wasn't. There were longer walks home.
Oh, okay.
No, for later in life, bigger crimes. But you know what my punishment was? I didn't get a spanking. I didn't get this, but you know what it was? My dad literally, I was 5,
Made
6,
you drink dirt out of a Dixie cup.
wouldn't let me go to the pool opening day.
Oh, well,
I mean,
that's appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah, if you're a sadist,
It's the best day of summer.
The first day of a brand new pool, the first day ever this pool was open, and my punishment was I couldn't go that day.
I applaud your father.
Man,
you learned your lesson.
Man, that's just too rough, man. Absolutely too rough. Let's see. We've got a lot of texts. 651-989 Rock. Kid stunts. Coming home from church in my 5-year-old Sunday best, I got into the neighbor's garage and proceeded to paint their house with spare paint. That is impressive.
But trying to help.
Yeah, that's
trying
fantastic.
to do the right thing.
I like that one. Mm-hmm. My dad gave us old blueprints to Paisley Park to draw on. Oops. Oh, my God. That's a tough one.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. Woo.
Those might have been worth a little something.
Not anymore.
Several children of Marines texting in. This one, my dad was in the Marines as well. We were never grounded. We were always confined to quarters. Yeah, heard that one too. The grounding. We called our house the barracks. Truly, I mean, it was just because that's what we just thought it was. Like, all right, man, we're waking up and we're making our beds and we're making sure the shoes are looking good. It was an interesting time. The 70s. I'm
lucky. My dad was only cranky when he felt like being cranky. Otherwise, he was fine. You know what I mean? It was just whenever was convenient for him.
So your dad acknowledged feelings. Wow, that sounds cool.
Well, not so much. It was just different degrees of crankiness, basically.
Fair enough. This is Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Thursday, May the 1st, and I'm feeling Minnesota. We got some headlines to get to. Stick around.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is May the 1st.
Oh, boy.
Summer, as I call it. I mean, not really, but what the hell? We're one day closer.
This is the best part right here.
This is it?
Yeah, I think so. When we're in the 60s and 70s and it's not 95% humidity, yeah, it's great.
You don't have the fear of missing out on your entire summer. Like, that comes in June and July. You're like, oh, man, summer's almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's still all in front of us right now.
Yeah.
Right in front of us, a little closer than in front of us is the fact that we need some headlines. What's going on in the world, Paul Fletcher?
An Eden Prairie couple was indicted a few weeks back in a $15 million medical billing fraud scheme they allegedly orchestrated. You heard about this, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the United States Department of Justice said Gabriel Luther and Elizabeth Brown allegedly engaged in the scheme that defrauded Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurers by overbilling for neurofeedback therapy. They've now pleaded They've pleaded not guilty by way of a taxpayer-funded public defender. $15 million medical billing fraud. They're now in court, and things have gotten spicy. This is why I bring it up. A video of parties at their mansion in Eden Prairie brought attention to their lavish lifestyle. Investigations revealed a complex relationship with multiple live-in girlfriends and fraudulent activities in their neurofeedback therapy company. Yeah. Now, they also really like filters when they take pictures. They can't be they're one of those people that just can't be a picture themselves.
Sure.
So this could actually get kind of interesting over the coming weeks. I'm going to keep an eye on this.
Please do.
I think it was the neighbors that squealed on him because of the parties.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a reasonable argument as opposed to a basketball hoop. Mm-hmm. Luther and Brown are currently in Las Vegas, and they're not being held in jail. In fact, Brown is running a telehealth business under certain restrictions. What is happening? Wow.
Yeah, this is a crazy one.
Like I said, we'll keep an eye on that one. Jeff Spurbeck, longtime agent and business partner of NFL Hall of Famer John Elway, died yesterday after falling from a golf cart driven by John Elway. He was only 62, suffered a traumatic brain injury at the Madison Club in La Quinta, California last week and was placed on life support. NFL legend John Elway said, quote, "There are no words to truly express the profound sadness I feel with the sudden loss of someone who has meant so much to me."
Yeah, I saw that story, and
This is another weird one.
From
a golf cart.
I mean, I have fallen from a golf cart. Just hit the grass, rolled up, laughed, like, guess I'm too drunk to golf. One of those.
Right.
Ha ha. But this was obviously on a cart path. I did see one account that said it was just Elway just hit the gas. They just were pulling away, and the guy was sitting. He just lost his balance somehow.
Wasn't sitting correctly or whatever.
It's not a bunch of drunk idiots on a course like I was.
No signs of negligence. They said.
A couple of men in their 60s just having a round of golf, and one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden, bang. I guess the message is you just never know. I mean, my God, I just picture the scene.
This is so odd.
And how it must have just been like, wait, what's going on? Are you okay? What's happening? I mean, it's just horrible story.
Certainly feel for him and his family, but man, I can't imagine how John Elway feels. I mean, he's managed Elway since 1990. They've done a lot of business together. They've got wines, etc. And Spurbeck represented over 100 NFL players during his career, so he was a significant figure in that world.
That's tough, man.
Just crazy. Holy smokes. Disney has announced a 4K Ultra. This is the last thing I expected to hear from Disney, but they've announced a 4K Ultra HD release of the Rocky Horror Picture Show to celebrate its 50th anniversary. Wow. The restoration process took 10 months and involved a meticulous digital scan to ensure clarity and vibrancy. The release will feature a newly mixed Dolby Atmos audio track while preserving the original mono audio as well. And it's scheduled for a theatrical release later this year.
I'll take it in. I haven't seen that thing in forever, but there was a time when it was like, just jump on the bandwagon and go check out a midnight showing. It was a lot of fun.
This has to be the longest running film of all time. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a month where it's not in a theater somewhere.
It's always playing somewhere.
It's crazy. A chorus of seagull squawks and screeches could be heard in a seaside Belgian resort town on Sunday, but it was not coming from the birds. Competitors from 13 countries came together for the 5th annual European Gull Scream Championship. I can't even read this without laughing. 10-year-old Cooper Wallace won gold for the second year in a row at the Screeching Championships. Do we want to hear him?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's where I feel like he gets it.
Where's that kid from? I love the cheer at the end.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I'm not laughing anymore. That was unbelievable. He sounded like a seagull.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Great job, son. Your granddad helped beat the Nazis in Normandy. And I've worked in a factory, and you're a seagull champion. The Revolutionary War is funny like that, isn't it? I mean, imagine the pride that family feels.
Yeah, I mean, that's next level right there, that kid.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's got a very bright future in front of him. By the way, I want to add he was dressed as a seagull while he did it.
I would hope
Way to
so.
Yeah.
My God. That's got to be step one.
Oh, it's outstanding. Way to go, kid.
This just grinds my gears.
Okay.
A list of the most overrated movies of all time that we're looking at. And of course, everybody's opinion is right. This is purely subjective. We're
Mostly
all right.
mine,
but some of us are more right than others.
Mm-hmm.
Joker, top of the list from 2019. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. Most overrated of all time.
Most overrated?
I'm not gonna argue that it's over. His performance is great, but as a overall movie, at the end of the day, it's still about a guy with face paint walking around. Come on, in New York City, you wouldn't get one block before somebody put an end to that.
Yeah.
But no, this is the one that gets me. The Shawshank Redemption.
That's insane.
That should be nowhere near any list of overrated films.
That's irresponsible, is what that is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, calling that movie overrated is irresponsible.
There are a handful of movies that I will immediately stop and it's on. I gotta watch, and that's it. That's absolutely one of those.
Thank you very much. Very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very, very you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much.
In the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It's time for Rank You Very Much. Special guest Paul Fletcher. Introduce your man.
This is we've got a local television sports legend.
The king of fun.
You are. Okay. The king of fun. How about that? That's what Ryder says.
Thanks, Ryder.
No turning back from that.
Yeah, I mean, you did the bit for quite a few decades of tripping over golf clubs and, falling backwards into lakes and all kinds of whackery. But you're also just an awesome human and also the creator, if you will, of Rank You Very Much, Mr. Erik Perkins.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, and welcome, and thank you for making me feel welcome. I'm stoked to be here, you guys, and I love that you guys have rebooted this because, we did this podcast for quite some time.
Yeah.
And
58 episodes. That's a lot.
58. What were we? What's that? We had way too much time on our hands.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, no, but it's nice to be part of the retread here.
For sure. 100%.
Now we're going to do all the work for you, man.
Okay.
That's the deal.
Yeah, I
you
like
get to
it.
just show up and be the star, and you can just be the special guest.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Rank you very much. If you're new to the concept, we pick a topic and then we give our top three. We rank these things, and then we'll give you our third, our second, and then ultimately our first, and then of course we'll mention just how ridiculous each other's picks are.
Yeah, that's
along the way.
If we're not chiding each other, we're not doing it right. Now, there are topics, there are times that there's nothing to say. Like, yeah, that's a good pick. But generally speaking, I mean, you got to be on the attack at all times. Right?
It's polarizing, yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, fisticuffs have ensued back in the past, but I hopefully we don't get to any kind of
Dude, one of the first episodes, Steve, I actually got him to walk out of the studio.
Oh, that's nice.
Because, I mean, within the game, it's all silly and nonsense, but within the game, you take it serious.
Well, some of the stuff's personal because it's close to us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this part of the fabric of who we are, and then all of a sudden you start attacking it. It's like, whoa, bro!
All right. I couldn't believe you got up and walked out over a Blizzard flavor.
It's time to sharpen. It's time to sharpen the elbows, boys. Let's get to it. What do you say?
Yeah, I love it.
This week's Rank You Very Much most overrated blockbuster films. Very successful films.
They have to be successful in the box office.
They have to be successful, but they are in fact overrated. I would normally say, I would normally go with Ryder, but Perk, you're the guest. I know how to. Company gets carte blanche, so I'm going to ask you, sir, to provide your third number 3 on your list, most overrated blockbusters.
You're sitting close to me. Be careful.
No, I had to reference and do a little research just to make sure this was a box office hit because, and it was, and I was more disappointed in this film than many others that I ever watched, and it was on the heels of Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. And when Kill Bill Volume 1 came out, I was so excited, and I was so let down after it all unfolded. And it's just, to me, it just droned, and it went on, and it just, I didn't get it. It was just, it bored me. It was gratuitously violent, and I understood what he was going for with the Japanese and the comics and all this stuff. It bored me to tears.
You didn't like the 24-minute sword fight. Wow.
I did. There was nothing about that movie that I found redeeming. Sorry.
I was so excited for you to come in, and now I just want you to leave. Man, you didn't like Kill Bill Volume 1?
Man.
I liked Uma's outfit. That was about it. I mean, yeah.
I had a feeling when you said that the knives were going to come out. No pun intended from Ryder.
Yeah.
It was a love letter to Japanese cinema.
I understand that. I get what he was going for. I just didn't. It didn't do it for me.
Man, from the king of fun to a leper in Ryder's eyes in 3 minutes.
The 5, 6, 7, 8s were great. I saw them when they were at the Parkway.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice but to love that movie because I watched it drunk on a plane for the first time. So of course I was all in. You can't not love a movie on a plane.
I'm the outsider on this bit. I've never even seen it. That's how overrated it is.
Wow.
I don't know who I'm more mad at.
I was just going to say, you just took all the heat off of Perk.
And I'm happy to do that because I love Perk. And I have no interest in ever seeing it.
Oh, man.
Quentin Tarantino, you know what? He's got some bright spots, but he is not this genius that everybody talks about. He's an overly wordy, super precious jackwagon, largely.
I mean, I'm not going to say
he's done some good flicks.
I'm not going to say he's the greatest director of all time or anything like that, but he's real good at showing you how much he loves movies.
He's created his own universes.
Sure. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was great. Pulp Fiction's great. Reservoir Dogs was good.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, I'm starting to get I'm starting to feel that humidity you're bitching about earlier.
Yeah?
Let's go to Ryder because I can't take Fletcher right now. Ryder, what's your number 3?
It is, and just because I can't pick the whole franchise, it is Harry, and I'm going with movies that I've actually seen. Otherwise, I'd be name dropping The Notebook.
Right.
But I love to tell people that I've never actually seen that piece of garbage.
Sure.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. That's the first one. If I could do the whole franchise, I would.
Okay,
There is
great.
no reason for this universe and people playing on the broomsticks and blah, blah, blah. Like, I ain't got time for that.
But, I'm not going to, I'd love to argue, but, I'm kind of with, even my kids didn't even care. When my kids did, the books were fine. The movies, they were like, whatever.
I hope my wife isn't listening. I live in a household of a Harry Potter freak that is trying to impart it on our children as well. But I ultimately completely agree with you, Ryder.
Have you been to
do that.
counseling about this?
No, I'm doing okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty mentally strong, and I can withstand his magic.
Then, Ryder, I'm just going to agree with you because I'm scared of you now.
It is with
That's what I was going for.
no small amount of trepidation that I ask you to submit your third choice here, Paul Fletcher.
All right. Well, this one, it felt like when this film came out, there was a lot of excitement, a huge buzz around it. One of the biggest actors of all time. And by all accounts, they were doing it correctly. And in fact, it got to a point where it sounded like this film was going to be Jesus coming back and walking on water for the second time. Top Gun Maverick.
Oh,
Now,
come on.
It did like $1 billion in box offices. And here's the thing. I saw it, and I actually thought it was good. It was a thrill ride, and I thought that's how you do a sequel. But to make it sound like On the Waterfront Part 2 is absurd.
What's absurd is that you actually believed possibly that it could be like On a Waterfront. It's Top Gun.
I didn't say that I believed it. I'm saying that's the conversation that was being had, and I'm just like, this is bananas.
I tapped out right away. I mean, the Mach 10 ejection, disintegration, and he survives. I was like, well, the rest of the movie's either a dream sequence or we're the dumbest people that have ever lived.
I just thought.
Why Mach 10? Just have him parachute out of. It's your superhero just to parachute out of a fighter jet in normal circumstances. Why do you have to turn it into a guy basically in the stratosphere? It just pissed me off.
You know what though? I bet you Tom Cruise could actually do that.
Oh, please.
What, Perk?
I have much disdain for this pick, and I think you're absolutely asinine to offer this up.
Wow.
Ryder, you have anything?
I didn't see it. I couldn't do it without Goose.
Good. I like that.
I like that.
Strong take.
Steve?
All about Goose. Just get right to it. Titanic. What a crock of crap. Who am I supposed to feel sorry for? The girl who says it's a slave ship to me? Oh, shut up. Get over yourself. And then you hold on to that necklace for 80 years or whatever, and then drop it in the ocean after a guy's mortgaged his life to try to find it? She should have drowned with Jack.
I'm still bitter that they cast Leonardo DiCaprio in it because he was supposed to be this world-traveling vagabond that looked like a pimple-faced 12-year-old. It was I didn't get that part of it.
I could see this not being the only James Cameron movie on this list.
Trust me, we're just getting started. Yeah. Let's go to number.
Although
twos.
most overrated is kind of absurd.
I just need
third
to say
most
about
overrated is
Titanic,
absurd.
the first proper date I ever went on, the dude took me to see Titanic at Burnsville Center.
Oh, wow.
How'd that go?
Yeah.
Pretty
we
strong.
dated for like a long time for a high schooler.
Well, yeah.
So.
I mean, if you made it to
3
the end of the movie, that's a long movie. So that's the longest date of my life. That would have been. All right, number twos. Perk.
Anything Despicable Me. Just run them down. All the minions and all the crews.
Like with a car?
Yeah.
I just think they're entirely overrated. I think it was cute for one film, and then it just got to be just painfully bad.
Well, now you've redeemed yourself because, that thing is garbage.
Yeah.
I fully agree. I'd love to argue, but no, I sat there going like, really? This is supposed to be like, I wouldn't have liked this as a kid. My kids don't care.
And then they made a freaking Minions movie. They can't even speak. Like, Despicable Me is one thing, and 3 and 4, but Minions get their own movie. They don't even speak the language. It's tough. This is one of those where it's tough to pick on each other.
Ryder, you're number two.
My number two. Spoiler alert! It's the James Cameron Avatar. Yeah.
I'll just hop on there. That's my number two as well.
Yeah.
Saw it in IMAX. I don't remember one thing about it other than it was boring me to tears.
Oh, yeah. And I felt like it was an episode of The Twilight Zone that they just reworked into this multi-million-dollar extravaganza.
I mean, it was a blockbuster, though.
Oh,
I mean,
she's so big.
That was monstrous at the theater.
It was.
Watched it
and
all.
They were all wrong.
Watched it all and drove home. And 7 minutes after it was over, if you'd said what happened, I'd go, I don't know, some blue people, and they were flying on some horses.
$2.9 billion.
All I know is this: at some point, these are like Marines in the 22nd century, and somebody goes, "Hey, you're not in Kansas anymore," and I just went, "You know what? I'm just going to throw up." Paul, what do you got? Number 2.
Did you throw up?
Number 2. Let's go.
Furious. The Furious. Anything from number 2 to like Fast and the Furious was I could digest it. It was a summer popcorn flick. Anything 2 to infinity, because I think they've made infinity versions. If you need me to pick one, I'll take 7. Anything that's Fast and Furious after the first one is just absolutely. It's just a cash grab with 0 point preface. It's
so you're
pointless.
saying Too Fast, Too Furious, and beyond.
Anything, whatever.
Okay.
I don't even know what they're called, but yes.
Fun fact. Never seen a single minute of any of them.
That's good. That's good.
That's
I don't blame you. I enjoyed
Gorman.
the first one just for a mindless summer popcorn flick, but 2 on are absolutely. It's cash grabbing, and they should feel guilty for what they've done.
They make you furious.
Correct.
There you have it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hold off on number 1s. I want to hear your most overrated film. 651-989-ROCK. They got to be blockbusters. Everybody you know has to love them, and you're the one holdout. We are wrapping up a big game of rank you very much right here. Overrated blockbusters. It can't be a movie that wasn't hugely successful. Overrated blockbusters. We've given our 3s. We've given our 2s. We've got a lot of people weighing in on the texts on 651-989-ROCK. Pearl Harbor is one that just jumped out to me.
Got to say his name from Mouth. What a great nickname. Yeah.
Pearl Harbor. We got some people agreeing with Avatar, and then a Big Lebowski. Wow, the Big Lebowski, most overrated. But you know what? Here's where I'm gonna split hairs.
I don't think we can be friends.
This is where I'm gonna split hairs. It wasn't a giant blockbuster. Did not do big box office, so therefore we don't have to argue about it.
It's disqualified.
Number 1 on your list, Perk, special guest.
Okay.
Star of the day.
So this one is.
Should I put my headphones down now?
No, it's just have to go pretty far back in the Wayback Machine here. Just go back to the 80s with me if you could, if you're able. I liked this movie when it came out, but I think I liked it because everybody liked it and everybody was supposed to like it.
Right.
And then over time, I think I had retroactive regret because I tried to watch this film with my kids about 3 years ago, and they looked at me like, this is the lamest piece of garbage.
Sure.
I can't believe you're showing me this.
Okay.
And when I watched it again, I'm like, this does not hold up. The effects are terrible. It's just like Ghostbusters. I didn't understand why it was so bad until I watched it again. It's a terrible film. It's really poor. Yes, Dan Aykroyd. Yes, Bill Murray. Yes, they're iconic. Yes, Ray Parker Jr., which by the way was a ripoff of Huey Lewis. But besides that, you take away all that, it's a really bad. Other than Stay Puft, okay, it's a terrible movie. And Sigourney Weaver getting tired. It's just like, what are we doing, Rick Moranis? Just like, I know, I understand the cast. I get the list.
Aykroyd,
I get the icons.
Sigourney Weaver.
It's just watch it again.
Good story. I have watched it again.
No, you haven't.
Who are you gonna call, man? Come on.
What is wrong with you?
Clearly a lot.
I haven't seen it in many, many, many years, but I will say when that bad boy was in theaters, like you said, 84? I couldn't get enough of it.
Couldn't get enough of it. And then, oh gosh, just do yourself a favor and don't watch it again because you'll just get so.
If we agree with you or not if we don't watch it again?
Such a buzzkill.
I'm watching it tonight. I was real nervous you were going to say a John Hughes movie, and then I would have to leave.
I thought he was going back to the future.
That would be fighting words.
I thought I knew you were.
I thought he was going back to the future. I was going to
your
jump out of my
face is
chair.
red. I could see how upset you were getting. Ryder, you're number 1.
Down with Titanic. Hate how DiCaprio says he's from Chippewa Falls, Minnesota. That's not a real place.
I don't even remember that. I don't know how you remember that.
Because he just burned and it bugged me so much.
Oh, sure it did.
Yeah.
Down with Titanic, we can all agree. The only saving grace is the appearance by Eric Braeden, who we all know as Victor Newman from The Young and the Restless. You put Victor Newman in a flick, I'm going to give you a little quick look. I remember I was watching that movie. I was so bored. All of a sudden, I was like, what's Victor Newman doing there? All right, Fletch.
I did like Billy Zane as a douche. I mean,
he was effective as a douche. And his bodyguard, also good douchey old English guy. What do you got, Fletch?
I'm actually it burns me to agree with both of you. I rarely agree with Perk on anything.
Okay,
but I to agree with you two. The only thing you guys did wrong is that you ranked Avatar at number 2.
Okay,
Avatar is the biggest pile of garbage.
Yeah,
it's like if you hit play now. Digitally, it could start a fire because it's such a steaming pile of garbage.
Okay,
it's not only the most overrated box office; it's maybe the worst movie ever made. It's awful.
I'm gonna say no. I'll give you that on number 2. The number 1,
the Blue Seaman people.
The number 1 most horrific, overrated box office film of all time. A movie that made me question people in my life that I cared about. A movie that to this day makes me want to throw punches. I hate everyone involved, and I hate everything about Forrest Gump.
Oh,
I don't dislike it. I hate Forrest Gump with every fiber of my being. I've never seen more cliches, more obvious pandering in my life. And the worst part of it was, and this shouldn't matter, but it does.
No, I get it.
It shouldn't matter, but it does. But at the time I went to see it, my dear friend Johnny Colt, who it's his birthday today, happy birthday, Johnny, said, "Oh, you'll love it. It's a lot like Being There." Being There is one of my absolute apex Mount Rushmore movies of all time. I will accept no Being There slander. To say that to me before I walked into the dumbest movie I've ever seen made it even worse. So I do have my reasons. If Forrest Gump comes on TV right now, I will watch 60 seconds of it just to get the blood flowing, and then I go to the gym and work out. I hate that movie with everything I have.
You know what's weird is I actually didn't hate it, but I absolutely see what you're saying. And now I might go watch it again just to see if I can get your rage, because it makes everything you're saying actually makes a lot of sense.
And again, the topic's overrated, right? And that was rated ridiculously high. That
was
on
Best Picture over Shawshank and Pulp Fiction,
which is absurd.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Picture of the year from the Oscars on top of everything else over those other 2 films.
And really quickly, back to Ryder's Titanic, that beat Good Will Hunting, which I have a major problem with. So you know what? Yeah. They all suck. Let's just agree. You know what? We can actually all agree on most of this.
Rank you very much. Thank you very much, Perk.
You guys are awesome. And Ryder.
Yes.
Whenever you want to watch like a John Hughes marathon, I'm in.
Oh, game on, brother.
It's good that we're making plans around here.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy May Day. It's May 1st. And on this May Day morning, I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
Think you could pass a lie detector test if we hooked you up to a polygraph right now with an experienced polygraph administrator, a guy who gives it to you.
A pro.
Pro
gives it to you.
You think you could pass? And if so, what does that say about you? What do you think, Ryder? Any chance?
I'm trying to think of something that I've lied about where I'd get hooked up to a polygraph.
Well, put it this way: let's go back to the time in life when we probably did lie to teachers or parents. Teenage years, you're getting caught. Would you look back and say you were a good liar? Could you get out of a jam?
As a teenager, no, I would have freaking crumbled. Probably now,
okay.
I think I could do it. I'm frequently accused of not having emotions by Mr. Ryder. So
okay.
I think they're too, I have them. I freaking do.
Sure you do.
I think they're too deep for the lie detector to get them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're what Fletch. I don't even feel like I have to ask. You don't strike me as a man with a poker face.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, especially in my teen years. Yeah. Oh, my God. I would think through the lies.
Oh, really?
Oh, I would plot it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Ask Mom. I would get away with... I was never in serious trouble.
Right.
But anything that I got into shenanigans and whatnot, I could compound lies on top of lies, and I would keep track of what I said so I would keep the story straight. Could I pass a lie detector test now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't see it in you.
No, I mean we have more ability now, right? Mm-hmm. But we got a great text from Carrie. I don't know if we want to get into these already, but she said the secret is to be like in a state of meditation where you detach yourself from what you're talking about, and I could see that theory working. That gives me some hope that maybe, but no, I don't think I could pass one. I don't even want to mess with it.
Steve, I'm pretty sure that you'd nail this sucker.
You think so?
I feel like I grew up in a house of suspicion. See, my dad trained all of us. We were always under a suspicion of something. And so my brothers and I, we were just constantly being accused of things that we sometimes did, sometimes didn't. And I think we were all pretty good at just acting innocent regardless, you know, like, but then at the same time, I remember always feeling guilty, even though things I didn't do, I would feel guilty for. And then things I did, I could completely tell you I didn't. It was a little backward messaging going on there. Mm-hmm. We were trying to be taught. We were getting the wrong lessons out of this, I guess.
Did you operate out of fear all the time?
Oh yeah,
the lying, everything came out of fear.
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The what do they call that now? Trauma. Yeah. I just thought it was childhood. It's one of those things. Hey, you get a lot of life skills
Legit
from that
PTSD,
sort of situation.
Man.
That's exactly what that is. A recent poll, though, asked people if they thought they could pass a polygraph, and 67% said, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Really?
67% of people polled think that they are enough of a sociopath to pass a polygraph. See, I don't think I could. I think I can. You get someone in there who knows what to look for, and plus, it's measuring your central nervous system. You can have a calm exterior. Mm-hmm. You can do all those things. And I know these are not admissible in court because they're not perfect, but they say polygraph givers are like, yeah, we're 80 to 90% sure when we bust people. We know when they're lying.
They're also 5 steps ahead of you. Their questions are designed to get you, to put you into that, what do you would call it, a pitfall or whatever, to get you to step into the trap, basically, the booby trap. It's all just a booby trap is what it is.
A couple texts from Carrie. You have to be in a state where you're not emotionally attached to any of the questions. You'll pass it every time.
Yeah.
As you said, be in a state of meditation. Followed it up with, I'm a sociopath, though, so I can lie about anything. Thank you for the honesty.
Wow. Carrie.
But would a sociopath actually admit to being a sociopath?
I don't think they would. So
I think he's actually a psychopath. I don't even know the difference. I just thought that was funny to say. I haven't called anyone a psychopath in a while. 651-989-ROCK is the talk and text line. Do you think you could pass a polygraph? But more importantly, I want to know if you've ever had a polygraph. Anybody that's ever had one, let me know about that. 651-989-ROCK.
It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
A lot of text messages are coming in, and Mike from West St. Paul is on the horn. Mike, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, man. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I was a teenager. Long ago, I lived in Japan. My parents were in the Air Force, so we moved around a lot. Anyway, I'm 15 years old, and I'm hanging out with some shady characters, and those characters like to steal car stereos. So over in Japan, they don't tolerate any of that stuff.
Right.
So they round us up. They individually tell us we're taking polygraph tests, and I got to be down at the police station the next morning, and I'm scared. So I talked to my mom, and my mom tells me that she heard that if you put a penny between your pinky toe and the next toe on each foot, that you would pass a polygraph. So I did that. And every single question they asked me that I was attempted to lie about, they busted me. However, there was two different incidents that they were looking at that they asked me about that I was telling the truth about, and it said I was lying. So I don't really have any real faith in those machines. But anyway, that's my story. It was I'm fortunate that I don't run with that crowd anymore. But I'm here to tell you that those machines are not 100% accurate.
Right. I appreciate the call. That's a hell of a story, man. A teenager in Japan, and then you're on top of that. Then your mom's like, stick a penny between those toes, and you'll be fine. Yeah. What do you know?
Maybe Mike should have grabbed a boatload of those dimes and put them between all of his toes.
Here's another text that just came in. My brother failed a polygraph. It almost tore our family apart. 2 months later, the actual criminal confessed to the crime. Ooh, so accused of a crime. They said he failed the polygraph, and then later, and the goes on to say those machines are a joke. It's all about the person operating it, and it's more. I do wonder like why they still why they still use them when there are so many stories like this. There must be. I think it's just It's like anything in the questioning in those rooms. The cops don't have to follow. They can lie to you. It's like when you're in court. You know who doesn't take an oath to tell the truth? The lawyers.
Correct.
They can say whatever they want. Cops in the interrogation, they have all kinds of things designed to get a desired result. They're leading you. They're funneling you towards a confession, hopefully. And the polygraph, like they say, they ask questions designed to trip you up and. Yeah, it's fascinating.
You just touched on it. What makes a ton of sense is that we all, generally speaking, as a society, understand that those things are for entertainment purposes only, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yet they're still used. It's like you just hit it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why we even use these things anymore. It seems asinine.
It's funny. I used to. I was talking earlier about, in my house, we'd lie to get out of things with our parents.
Yeah.
But ever since I said that, I mean, I remember that. But I have so many memories of not getting away with a lie because you can fool sometimes you can fool your parents a lot easier than any other adult because they just look at you and hopefully see love, or you get used to their rhythms.
Yeah.
I can remember so many times as a kid just saying something, and your friends' parents, you just, even a little exaggeration, they'll just bust you for it.
Yeah.
You're like, come on, man.
100%.
I was walking down, I was at the pool, summer, the big pool. There was a birthday party for some kid. His parents were setting it up. There was like a patio off the little, not a clubhouse, just a building there. They had a patio area that you could reserve for private parties, and so there was a birthday party going on. Okay. And me and a buddy walked up the steps to that patio, and the adults were all setting up a table, and they had a couple of pizzas there, and then they went downstairs to go get some more Cokes, and my friend and I are like, hey, let's just grab a slice of pizza while we're here. And so we did.
Sure.
And we're walking down the stairs, and I remember this woman, the mom, walking up the stairs, and as she sees me, she goes, you ate some pizza? Like, out of the blue. And I'm like, no. I'm like, she was downstairs. How does she know? I had pizza sauce all over my mouth. And I was,
You're like, no.
And I remember I looked at her, I was like, lady, I didn't have any pizza. I was looking for my friend. And I gave an Oscar-worthy performance, and she didn't buy into it. And it was probably 3 minutes before I realized, I have red sauce on my face. There's no getting out of this one.
Now I really want a thin crust pepperoni.
Well, you know what? It's tough. I shouldn't talk about food in the morning here.
I know, it's tough.
Ryder, you just had a call. Somebody said that a couple that worked.
I actually got a couple of phone calls from people who worked at restaurants in Florida and said they regularly had to take lie detector tests for work. And the question that this one woman said...
Restaurant work?
Yeah, and the question that this one woman said always busted everybody. They either lied about it or they had to cop to it was, have you ever given away a free drink?
What kind of restaurant is putting their employees on a polygraph?
Like Siberia?
I feel like it was probably back in the 80s or 90s, and things were
restaurateurs in Russia?
Wild at spring break.
So, yeah. If it was in Miami, I would expect a little bit different line of questioning. Have you ever accepted a kilo of Coke for a drink or something?
Yeah.
Very, very heady times down there.
Wow.
I'm trying to think too of. I don't know anybody. Nothing comes to mind. No one that I know has ever taken a lie detector test.
No.
I'm actually kind of surprised that so many people are texting in with their stories.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't have any experience with any of this other than what I've seen in movies, pretty much.
I think it's time we bring one in here. We're going to have to do the KQ polygraph testing.
Let's do that.
All right. Yeah. Well, we are going to start lying about some stuff so we have things that can put us to the test.
Man. Have you ever? I don't even want to come. You know what? I'm starting to get uncomfortable. It's for a guy who thinks I could probably get away with a lot. I really can't. I've grown out of the poker face years, and I'm not upset about that at all. Hey, you know what? It's time that we let you in on a few things that are going on around the world, like this: the 2025 Tee It Up Golf Cart number 3, presented by Club Champion, is on sale now. You can golf 7 area courses, and you can save over $200 while you do it. Information or to go ahead and buy that bad boy, text the word GOLF, GOLF, to 651-989-ROCK. We're feeling Minnesota with headlines.
I'm sure you've heard about the Eden Prairie couple that was indicted on a $15 million medical billing fraud scheme they allegedly orchestrated. The United States Department of Justice said Gabriel Luther and Elizabeth Brown allegedly engaged in the scheme that defrauded Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurers by overbilling for neurofeedback therapy. Well, they pleaded not guilty. By the way, by way of a taxpayer-funded public defender. They're now in court, and things have gotten a bit spicy because in court, a video of parties at their mansion in Eden Prairie brought attention to their lavish lifestyle. Investigations revealed a complex relationship with multiple live-in girlfriends and fraudulent activities in the neurofeedback therapy company.
One live-in girlfriend is enough.
You know what they say, polyamorous want a cracker?
Wow.
Who says that?
I don't know. Somebody.
I liked it.
Someone's going to start saying it now.
I'm not sure anybody has, but they ought to.
Well.
They're not being held in jail. They're actually currently in Las Vegas, and she's operating a telehealth business under certain restrictions. The whole thing's all interesting, and we're actually going to. I think we should keep an eye on this one and see how it all unfolds.
Grifter's going to grift. Her company in Vegas, by the way, I did see is called Angel Wings Wellness and Weight Loss.
Oh, man.
Something tells me that's just snort yourself thin.
Like. Think of how...
Sorry, that was rude. Sniff yourself thin.
Okay.
There you go. That's much more appropriate. But think of the lengths she's going to make it sound very legitimate. And like she really cares.
Sure.
Yeah. Sad news. This is just... And it's crazy, too. Jeff Spurbeck, longtime agent and business partner of NFL Hall of Famer John Elway, died yesterday after falling from a golf cart. It was driven by John Elway, too. Mm-hmm. He's 62, suffered a traumatic brain injury at the Madison Club in La Quinta, California last week and was placed on life support. NFL legend John Elway said, quote, "There are no words to truly express the profound sadness I feel with the sudden loss of someone who has meant so much to me." It's just
two guys out
awful.
golfing, someone hits the gas pedal and someone falls out of a golf cart, which is not that unusual. It happens. I was reminded, I remember hearing about this 30 years ago at a course I used to play. That exact same thing. A guy, just two men in a golf cart, and a guy fell out and hit his head. And no other injury, just the head, nothing else, not a scrape on his body. It's like being struck by lightning, or sometimes trees just fall. I mean, there's just
freak thing.
Absolutely crazy to think about. Watch those beans, man. We had a buddy, a family friend who he was 26, 27, and on a bicycle. All but standing still. I mean, he was really just pushed off going 1 mile an hour, and the wheel just went into a little thing, and he fell over. And as he was falling, he was laughing like, "Oh my, I can't believe this is happening!" And his head hit at a specific bang, and that was it. Instantly, it can happen. It's crazy to think about. If this had been. When I first saw the headline, I thought it was John Elway, and I was just like, "Wait, you got to be kidding me! You go through that career, and then this is what does it." But anyway, like you said, his longtime agent, this guy represented a lot of football players over the years.
100 NFL players worked. He's been working with Elway since 1990. And last but not least, the sheriff's office in that area has found no signs of negligence. Just so we're clear on that.
Complete freak accident.
Let's move on. That's just sad. Disney has announced a 4K Ultra HD release of the Rocky Horror Picture Show to celebrate its 50th anniversary. The restoration process took 10 months, involved a meticulous digital scan to ensure clarity and vibrancy, and the release will feature a newly mixed Dolby Atmos audio track while preserving the original mono audio.
Okay.
It should be they're going to do a theatrical release later this year.
Right on. I'll go check it out again. It's been a
4K
while.
Ultra, yeah.
It's been a minute since I saw Rocky Horror, but I would probably enjoy doing that again.
You got to get to the right theater with the Dolby Atmos, man. I'm telling you, if you haven't experienced that is, the sound is unreal.
I have listened to Atmos in a recording studio, just music.
Yeah.
One of the more overwhelming, emotionally unexpected moments of my life, honestly. The first time I sat in a room and listened to music in Atmos, music I'd heard many times, I felt like I was sitting inside the bass drum. I felt like I was in the organ.
Yeah.
And it wasn't music I picked. It was just what the guy had on hand. Mm-hmm. I listened to Rocket Man by Elton John, and it made me cry.
I believe it.
Dude.
It was just phenomenal.
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah. And then he put on Tears of Rage by the band, and that makes me cry on my phone. So you play that song on Atmos, it was incredible.
I've only seen one movie that way, and they had the speakers in the floor going all the way up on the walls and the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And you can extract all the different sounds and put them in so many different channels.
Incredible.
It is. A chorus of seagull squawks and screeches could be heard in a seaside Belgian resort town on Sunday, but it was not coming from birds. That's right. Competitors from 13 countries came together for the 5th annual European Gull Scream Championship. 10-year-old Cooper Wallace won gold for the 2nd year in a row. Let's hear Cooper.
There's where he gets me.
Unreal.
It's a really odd thing to specialize in, but my God, Cooper sounds like a freaking seagull. Oh, and by the way, he was dressed like one as well.
I would certainly hope he was. Can you imagine, you're a kid, you're growing up in England, and you're going to Belgium to compete. And people are like, oh, wow, that's great. What is it, like Gymnastics? Are you playing football?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go scream like a seagull, actually. Fantastic. Whatever it takes, kid.
Way to go, Cooper.
Yeah.
Way to. I mean, just, you know what? If you're going to be, just be awesome at something, you know?
This goal call is my passport to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Go figure.
Absolutely. Like a roadway slot machine, an 18-wheeler hauling millions of dimes overturned on a highway in Texas, scattering dimes everywhere. Officials had to collect them all using their bare hands, vacuums, and rakes. We've got some witnesses sharing their thoughts.
First time we've ever seen that happen.
I just saw a truck flipped over.
That's a lot of dimes. That many dimes is, well, that's mind-boggling.
I almost came out here with like a bucket so I could fill it up with some dimes.
That's mind-boggling.
Well, that's mind-boggling.
When I was a boy, that would have been phone calls for the rest of my life. A phone call used to cost 10 cents. See, a dime was a 10-cent piece, and you could make a phone call. You'd find a payphone, and I could have made phone calls for the rest of all time back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
I love the one girl. And, of course, she's like, I want to get a bucket and get as many dimes as I could. Yeah, good luck. All that work, you might end up with $3.60.
Yeah, man. When's the last time you needed a dime for anything? Been a minute. Been a minute.
Trying to think.
How about this? How about the Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round of the NBA playoffs after they went to Los Angeles last night, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn and still beat the Lakers? The Timberwolves, if you told me yesterday, they're going to shoot 7 for 47 from behind the three-point line, I would have assumed they would lose by over 20 points.
Yeah.
No, they beat the Lakers. They eliminated the Lakers because Rudy Gobert suddenly remembered he knew how to score points, and he had a ton of them.
24 for Rudy Gobert. In the wing, DiVincenzo sets, aims, fires, no. Oh! Gobert parachutes in, uncovered, untouched, and jackhammers it in.
Ended with 27. Rudy Gobert didn't have 27 points combined in the first 4 games. 27 last night to go with 24 rebounds, a dominant performance from the big man. Ant only had 15 and 11. What a series. You know what I mean? They go out there, they roll the Lakers in game 1, they look flat in game 2, and then 3 straight wins. A big step forward. I do believe they will be playing the Golden State Warriors next. I can't imagine the Rockets are going to come back in that series. Despite last night's blowout, the Warriors just waved the white flag early and said, we're going to let Steph Curry sit and rest before we beat you in game 6.
Dismantle.
So that means most likely Steph Curry will be coming to Minnesota soon for a few games. Always good to see the greatest shooter the game's ever known. But I do believe the Timberwolves have just punched their ticket all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And I don't want to discuss what will happen when they see the Thunder at that point.
Yeah, that's... Well, you know what, though? Worry about that then, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's a heck of a night. After the game, Anthony Edwards did a little victory lap around the arena. Not inside, outside. I mean, he got showered, put on some clothes, and was just circling the parking lots, talking to fans. And at some point, he mentioned a movie character, and then he was asked a question. Oh, is that your favorite movie? You'll love his answer.
Good guy gonna die in this movie. Hey, Morris Chestnut died in this movie. Hey, you mentioned Morris Chestnut. Is that your favorite movie, Boys in the Hood? Nah, that ain't my favorite movie. My favorite movie, Matilda. Matilda? Yeah. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never seen it. Are you tripping? Yeah, you need to go see it.
Matilda. That's his favorite movie. I love
Set up
him.
the screening now and host Matilda screening.
I can't handle
so funny.
the chocolate cake scene. It's so gross. In Matilda.
I'm not even I just love the fact that of all the movies Anthony Edwards could have thrown out there, he went with Matilda. The guy, he's just the funniest man on earth to me.
He's great.
Quick Vikings note. J.J. McCarthy, still not officially named the starter, but it's presumed to be. He assumes that's the case. There's no one that's going to take the job from him. Interesting quote from J.J. McCarthy. Recently found out he has ADHD, an adult diagnosis. He said people with ADHD, they find calm in the chaos in the calm. I always felt ever since I was a kid, in any competitive environment I'm in, I feel like I'm at home. 110,000 people at Michigan, that's where I feel most comfortable in that stadium. Wow. When the lights are the brightest, the stage is the biggest stage out there, I know there's going to be a lot more of that to come, and I calm down the more the pressure turns up. If true, that's good news. He does meditate before the games. This is a kid who at Michigan would go sit in the end zone hours before kickoff and meditate. And I'm always like, yeah, you know what? I'm in. I'm down. Okay. I'm buying into the J.J. McCarthy era. Looking very forward to it.
The Vikings did trade for Sam Howell. And I think all evidence says that he'll compete, but I think it's probably JJ's to lose.
I think Thurston Howell would have had a better chance of getting that starting position myself. Hey, I'd like to take a moment and just give a shout out to our friends in Burnsville. How about you, Burnsville?
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
What's happening down there today? Good to have you with us. There's the whole thing about paying it forward in life.
It's a great thing.
Paying it forward.
Sure.
What about now its annoying little stepbrother paying it backward?
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Couple things real quick. John Elway and that guy, they were not golfing. They were in a golf cart returning from a music festival at night. My bad.
Yeah.
The reports are like, I'm assuming they're out just knocking them around. Not that it matters. It doesn't change anything about the story, but I just don't want to be putting out false information.
Correct.
My apologies. Okay, paying it forward. That awful movie with Kevin Spacey and that kid. Remember that? That was where it all started.
Let me Google
It's
it.
from a movie.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was really Helen Hunt. Ugh. Anyway,
Kevin
if memory
Spacey,
serves,
ugh.
but the whole pay it forward thing, I had an experience where somebody said, the guy in front of you in line said he'd buy your coffee. Will you buy the one behind you in line? And I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I don't know what they're ordering. Now there's pay it backward. Well, basically the story is somebody in line at a Dunkin' Donuts pulled up to the window and the cashier person said, the car in front of you said you were going to pay for their drink.
That's a party foul.
We went ahead and let them go. You're covering their drink, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman said, I don't know who that person is. You just got suckered, dude.
Yeah,
I love the idea that
worked.
somebody, because the guy said, oh, no, we're paying it backward. And the person working at the Dunkin' Donuts bought that line, hook, line, and sinker. I just have to share. I wish this was my story, but it's my bass player's story. We were on tour in Boston in 2010.
Okay.
And the bassist for the Black Crowes, Sven, walks into a Starbucks around the corner from the hotel. He's in line. And he hears at the cashier an English gentleman ask. He goes, he said he's being paid. He's ringing up his drink, and he hands the woman $100 bill, and she says, "I can't break that. I don't have the change." And he didn't have a credit card or anything. And this guy spins around, and Sven looks up. He's two people behind him in line, and he realizes it's Jeff Beck. Arguably the greatest guitarist on planet Earth in the year 2010. And Jeff Beck says, does anyone have change for 100? Because that's all he has.
Yeah.
And Sven, being a musician who's like, oh my God, that's Jeff Beck. He steps in and goes, man, it'd be my honor to buy you a coffee. Let me buy you a coffee.
Yeah.
And Jeff goes, it's really great, man. I appreciate it. And Sven says, and we had seen him the night before play a gig. Tedeschi Trucks had just started. They opened. And he goes, I saw you last night. You were amazing. And we were there. And he goes, oh, yeah, what band are you in? He goes, I'm in Black Crowes. They have the whole little chat, right?
Uh-huh.
And Sven is feeling good. And Sven looks at the woman. He goes, I'm just going to have a latte. Just add it to his. And here. And he pulls out his credit card. And the woman says, okay. And she adds Sven's latte. And then she goes, that'll be $89.52.
What?
What did he get?
He had
This is like
he had a
American
tray.
dollars?
He had four big drinks like lattes or cappuccinos, and then the big Starbucks, the biggest bag ever, just muffins and rolls and croissants.
Okay.
He had ordered almost $100 worth of stuff, but they wouldn't accept a $100 bill. And he didn't mention at any time when Sven says, I'll pick it up for you. He didn't think to say, oh, by the way, it's not just a cup of coffee. So Beck takes the drink carrier with 4 drinks and a bag stuffed with pastries. Thanks, man. And Sven's standing there going, what the hell was that? I just paid $90 for my drink and then Jeff Beck's. And so he tells us that story that day on the we're driving down to Cape Cod for a gig, and we're all laughing. We just think it's the funniest thing ever. Our tour manager is laughing harder than anybody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, she can't stop laughing. And we're like, Amy, it's funny. It's not that funny. She goes, no, you don't get it. She goes, I was just cutting across the Boston Common coming back to the hotel, and I saw Jeff Beck sitting on a park bench feeding Starbucks pastries to the squirrels. And we all just froze. She goes, and I thought, my God, how much money did he just get a loaf of white bread? What are you feeding squirrels in the park from Starbucks for? So not only did he take that, he didn't mention it. He was using all those pastries to feed the squirrels. That's my favorite Jeff Beck story of all time. I love the man's music. I was such a fan, but nothing will ever top that. I just, absolutely just kills me every time. Gorman in the Morning with Ryder and Fletcher on Minnesota's 92 KQRS, also known as Fletcher and Ryder. It's the first time I've inverted those. I always have to look. I like going back and forth. Ryder in the Morning with Fletcher and Gorman right here on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Bob Dylan, Rainy Day Women, 12 and 35. Yeah. Speaking of Robert Zimmerman.
Yeah, he's got, the Bob Dylan Center exists, and I believe it's Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
Going to launch a new exhibit called Going Electric Bob Dylan 65 on July 24th. It'll feature original manuscripts from Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited, drafts of Mr. Tambourine Man, and a multimedia experience centered on Dylan's July 1965 Newport Folk Festival performance. The first time he played electric. So that's all going down July 24th. If you're a big Bob Dylan fan, might be worth the pilgrimage. If you will.
I'm a big Bob Dylan fan. I'm a big Connell Gorman fan. That's his birthday. So maybe I'll get the kid. Hey, his 25th birthday. We'll go celebrate an artist that he's just now discovering.
In Tulsa, though.
Yeah, no, he's going to be like, where is it? Tulsa? Okay, have fun, Dad. That'll be great.
But think of the awakening he could have at that place.
Fantastic. He couldn't possibly care less. I promise you that.
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
Oh, the Killers, dude. They're so good live.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Lucky for me.
Okay.
Got to see him at First Ave, was it 23 when they came through? They came and played Twin Cities Summer Jam or whatever the heck it was called at Target Field. And the night before they did the underplay at First Ave. And it was unreal, man. Yeah. It was just nuts to butts and just, soggy, soaking, wet, sweaty night at First Ave. But it was so good. So good.
I got work to do. Missed the whole thing. I've heard that song, Mr. Brights. I couldn't name another Killer song if you paid me. There's just certain lapses in my brain.
Yeah.
Things bounced off, I guess.
I think
I say that, and then now I'm like, no, wait, I know that other one. No, and then there's that one. Never mind. I actually know some of their. I know a few of their songs. They're all occurring to me now.
I don't know that you would. I'm just, I'm still getting to know you, of course, but I feel like you would like a good bulk of their music. They're cool.
It's like when you go to the Collective Soul show and then they start playing the songs and then you're like, oh man, we're like 6 songs in and I know every friggin' one of them.
Yeah, it was like that with the Goo Goo Dolls. I'm like, I'm really not that excited. Or Matchbox 20. It's like, I'm not really excited to see. Oh wait, I know this. Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. Oh, I know this one. It just keeps going.
Hits are good. It's good to have hits.
Yeah. I love a hit parade.
Especially if they're...
Tomorrow on this show, Gorman in the Morning, Elizabeth Reese from Twin Cities Live is going to be with us for AMA Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's ask her lots of questions.
I went on that show and had a great time. She and her co-host, your buddy.
Ben Lieber. Good
Awesome folks. Really good people.
I'm excited to ask her how that went from her point of view.
I like it.
Hey, you know what you can do this Saturday? You can join our buddy Chris Nelson from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Fleet Farm in Blaine. Gear up for fishing at Fleet Farm, plus sign up to win tickets to see Stevie Nicks.
Oh, boy.
3 to 5 Saturday afternoon at Fleet Farm in Blaine with our buddy Chris Nelson. There you have it. Fletcher, you're here for the next few hours. What do you got going on today?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I have an addiction to atomic fireballs.
Okay.
And Fleet Farm is where I go get my 1-pound bag. So
very nice.
Thanks to the people at Fleet Farm for
Good to
having
know.
this available for me.
Good to know.
I talked about it yesterday from 10 to 3
okay.
about how it's like we're holding back a little bit. We don't want to show all of our cards right out of the gate, right? And so every now and then, still getting songs that I haven't played before. And I've got 2 of them coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. So I think that's worth noting.
That is absolutely worth noting. This is Gorman in the Morning, and we'll be here tomorrow morning. And I look forward to it already. This is Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.